Hello everybody and welcome back to a man who has several ducks living in his room. What the f does that mean? Oh. My name is Edinger, and the other day I made a video about job red flags. Based on a Reddit thread, what are some things you should look out for when you're applying to jobs? You guys actually had a lot more insightful comments to bring than the Reddit discussion, so let's go. Community video. Also, by the way, this video is sponsored by NordVPN, so you'll be hearing more about that in the middle of the video. First one, we've got, you should think having money is enough reason to want a f***ing job. I wish. Also, we're a big family. Lies. Oh my gosh, yes. If you ever apply to a job that has, we're like a big family anywhere on there, that is a big red flag. Big red, that might as well be the logo for the company, okay? We're a big family. You know what happens in families? A lot of stuff, okay? I don't know if you guys had the same family experience I did, but I didn't enjoy it as much. It's worse when you're at a job that pretends to be the family because they're also providing you with wages that aren't usually that good. Actually, this was followed up here with, actually, we're a big family is often accurate in at least one part of the family, support, refuses to talk to another part of the family, sales, because of what our Darren, middle management, said about our Tracy, development. At the family get-together, a company do. Yeah. Basically. I've worked with big teams before of around like 80 to 100 people, and I really liked that because for the most part, no one really has to mess with marketing. Like, I got to talk to the engineers and the art department and have a fun time just being like, oh, what's up? How's it going? And I didn't really have to worry too much. Any of the basic Photoshop stuff I could do myself. Whereas I know that like, if we also had a PR department, well, then that'd be like, why isn't PR talking to us? And hey, marketing guy, why aren't you what are you doing on Reddit? What's this? Sorry, ma'am, I'm researching a new video. I've read that a good question to ask in an interview is there anything that concerns you about my resume or experience that I can address right now? And I've used it twice and gotten both jobs. That is an incredibly amazing tip. If you're watching this video and you're applying to jobs anytime soon, I'd say try that out. It shows a lot of confidence in your resume and yourself to be like, you know what? I'm so confident in myself as an applicant. I'd like to ask you what the worst part about me would be, because then you can actually address those concerns right then and there and leave that less to chance for the company to be like, oh, I think maybe because she's like this or he's like that, maybe he won't be a good fit. And you can be like, no, just talk to me. Talk to me like a person. Bam, get the job. Good advice. Thank you very much, Allie. Appreciate that. Adding to the community. I interviewed for a small startup. I think I know where this is going. They showed me their amazing office, ping pong table. Oh yeah. Sauna. A sauna, holy, wow, all right. Fridge full of free vitamin water. I'd actually take that as a con. Vitamin water's not good. I'd rather just have water, to be honest. We got a yoga room? I've recently gotten to doing yoga like very daily, and I freaking love it. What does very daily mean? I was impressed. Geez, that sounds really cool. Until we discussed salary, and the CEO said, since we're just a small startup, we can't pay you as much as others in the field. Thanks, but any startup that spends the money on cool digs instead of paying professionals is a big nope from me. On this one, I'm like slightly in the middle. Like, I feel like I'd be more keen to take a slight pay cut in what I was expecting if I really loved the work environment. Like, having a sauna? Bruh, I don't know how often I'd honestly use that. But I used my ping pong table at every company that had a ping pong table. Okay, I played that and it made me feel like it was actually taking a mental break. You know, I'm not thinking about doing algorithms and things like that. No, man, I'm just trying to get them shots. Also, a yoga room? Something about that feels freeing as well. Like, I'd appreciate that. Like, I'd appreciate a gym membership, but then also pay me fairly. Like I said, I'll take a small hit, but if they were like, we can't pay you at all, or like at all a standard rate, no, goodbye. I had an interview for a graduate PR job last year where I was required to pitch an idea to the company, all right? I've also had to do stuff like that. I thought this was pretty normal, and honestly, it probably is just standard procedure. I was rejected afterwards though, so other candidates had more experience than me, which is completely fair enough. However, it wasn't until very recently in which I saw, well, that a certain popular music artist was on the cover of a certain popular music magazine that I noticed something a little dodgy. This cover story was my exact pitch. These were my exact ideas, the artist, the publication, the story, even the photographer. It could be a coincidence, sure. But it's just very interesting that the last few months after I pitched these things to the company, they're a reality all of a sudden. Let's just say I'll be a little more careful / hesitant doing free labor for the initial interview in the future. Yeah, I would 100% check that up with a lawyer because that is stealing your intellectual property. That is a thing that happens a lot though. Like, you'd be surprised how often that type of thing happens, but especially if it's something in the field of like ideas and stuff, if you've got proof that you came up with that you pitched that, I would 100% start pursuing legal action. I know that sounds like a lot of effort, because it is, but that's thievery. That's theft, all right? I would definitely stand up for that if you've got some spare time. Personally, I've done my first ever interview at a real office job. I had to give a 20-minute presentation on how to build up and grow the company's social media, which was really trailing in the UK branch. And I actually performed a 20-minute presentation. I spent so long on the thing, I'd never had a job outside of work in retail. And so I tried my very darndest. And they very well could have just taken all of my ideas, because I kind of just gave them a roadmap, and they could have just run with it and gone with someone else. But because I'd put so much effort in, they thought, wow, this guy would be a really good, useful part of the team, actually. So they did pull me on, and I implemented all those things and grew the social media. But there is always that risk. It's like writing cover letters. I hate the idea of cover letters because there's so much of a time sink, a time vampire. You spend so much time on one for each individual job, and then, hey, they don't give you the job? There goes my time. At least you can get better at them, I suppose. Maybe I could just reuse that thing I used to the other company. Use that PowerPoint for someone else. Just kind of change the name of the brand a little bit. Also, speaking of jobs, it's time to pay some bills, and thanks to today's video sponsor, NordVPN. From the desk. Thanks, Evan. You know what another big red flag is? Texting me in the middle of a video. Yeah. No, but for real, big red flag, not using today's video sponsor, NordVPN. NordVPN is protecting your data. If you're going on the internet, if you're visiting those unscrupulous websites, and you just allow that to happen straight from your router, ISP, government's looking it up like, yo, that's him? Arrest him. All right, that is just a bad idea. NordVPN puts that block in between you and those secret government spy agencies. I don't want to judge what you're looking at, but I can say that if you are looking to get more content in your life, such as, oh, you've run out of stuff in the UK Netflix library, shut it up. Now you can watch the German Netflix, US Netflix. You want to watch some Christmas films? You can do it now, okay? Who cares if it's only March? There's a lot of shows that I still really enjoy watching that are based in the US that for some reason when I try and watch them, YouTube goes, oh, I'm sorry, that's just for Americans. Excuse me? I'm American. One click, NordVPN, I can change my location back to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Guess what? I'm watching Last Week Tonight today. All right? Also, if you sign up today to nordvpn.com/Evan or use code Evan at checkout, you can get a 2-year plan, a free month, and also it's all at a huge discount. So thank you very much to NordVPN for sponsoring today's video. And without further ado, Evan, it's back to you. Thanks, Desk Evan. I don't know how we can be at 2 places at once, but wow, it's phenomenal. I'm wearing many hats. I had an interview with the employer and an employee, and the employer left the room to go get something. And the employee literally told me to turn down the job because it's a lot of work, pay, and that she was looking for a new job too. We stayed friends after that. Yikes. That is like, I mean, if we're talking about red flags, someone literally telling you, run, that's a flag. Or, all right, maybe I'm a bit cynical, but part of me thinks, what if this person who's the employee, her friend is also applying for the job? And so she's got this thing sorted out and she's like, yo, you got to get out of here. This job's really bad. When in fact, she's just trying to whittle it down to just her friend, right? It could be the thing. Maybe it's just the cynical nature I've got for that type of thing, but hey. I had a boss who took my overtime away. Wow. Then wondered why I stopped doing any. He came up to me with a job just before I was due to go home. And then as I was about to clock out, he asked, so that's it? 2 o'clock and you stop work and clock out? Well, yeah, as you stopped paying me pretty promptly at 2, so yeah, I stopped working there and going home. You stopped going home? You stopped working there and stopped going home? The grammar's actually confusing me, but I just don't understand. I mean, I understand trying to squeeze as much value out of someone as possible, capitalism at its best, but how can you, if you're paying someone overtime, good, you're paying them for their job. Once you take it away, someone's not going to do the same work. I mean, it's just silly. Treat your workers like they're humans that they are, and maybe they'll actually do more than you're expecting. When they ask, do you have any children? Or do you plan on having any children? During the interview, but your male friend who's interviewed for the same job doesn't get that question. Yeah, also, is that legal? I'm fairly certain that's not a question you're actually allowed to ask. Like, yet again, it makes sense to ask the question in the realm of super capitalism, like, sure. But that's not really anyone's business. That's like a personal question. It's like, you just, at the end of the interview, they're like, so out of curiosity, do you have any foot fungus? Listen, it was a very weird analogy I've just made there. I'm just saying it's irrelevant information that will not change anything about the job. Unless that foot fungus is because at a previous job in a fancy yoga room, while someone was using the sauna in the yoga room and spread foot fungus to the whole society, the whole family. Okay? Darren's not talking to me anymore. Then you'll be wearing many hats. Then I'll be expecting many salaries. Nope! You will never get more salaries. As soon as they say many hats, it's either a startup. No, I'm pretty sure it's just a startup. I feel like that's basically when you hear the term many hats. I've worn many hats at many jobs, but sadly not many hats, you know, at separate jobs. It's always loads of hats. I can't fit them on, okay? I can only wear 2 hats at the same time. Don't pay me for one person's job and then make me do 5 people's jobs, okay? And that comes to even now. The amount of times that I've had to do like shoots and things, and then it's like, oh, well, we also need you to do this and this and do the photography and also can you do this and this? And I'm like, whoa, there's a lot more involved than you think there is, okay? It's not just pointing a camera at things. Just me breathing from all the stress from thinking about these terrible employers. This is actually a great video concept. Thanks, Inks, and incredibly helpful to a lot of people, I'm sure. I personally know I would have put up with a lot more stuff when I was younger and more naive. That's the thing. When you are going out to get a job and you've not had one before, you're way more likely to just say yes to everything because you don't, 1, know any better, and 2, are scared that you're not going to get the job or that, you know, you're going to get fired. I feel like no matter where I've worked, no matter how long I've worked at places, I've always felt like I was on the brink of someone just like saying, Evan, we need to have a talk. And I'm like, that's it, I'm gone. They found out I'm not that great. You know, imposter syndrome, but to the 10th degree at every single job, you know? When you're starting out, please, these red flags, I mean, I'm trying to make this entertaining, but also it is a bit serious. So if you ever come up with these red flags, be sure to maybe just think a bit more cautiously about these places. Do not let employers take advantage of you, okay? All right, so I have no idea what a JD is, Ellen, but we have, oh man, I think a lot about the JD, Juris Doctor, Junior Delepid, JD Sports, Jingle Dingle, the Jingle Dingle, I read, where the only benefits listed were free Fruit Fridays and a beautiful view of the London skyline. Like, that's it? Yikes. Free Fruit Friday? Like, imagine like going to this full-time job in an office and you're like, oh great, I can't wait to get to my job on Friday. Can you believe I get a free piece of fruit worth 40 pence? It's Pink Lady. They're quite fancy with their apples. Oh my God, and look outside. I'm glad I only get paid £18,000 a year for this. Delicious. Also, what the heck is a JD? From Scrubs? Job opportunity. It must be job offer. Job opportunity. Job adoption. Someone in the comments, please tell me what JD is. It's driving me wild. Unlimited vacation / PTO. It's big with startups. Oh my God, yes it is. The catch is that no one actually takes time off. Yes. Oh, I've actually worked at 2 separate startups that had the unlimited vacation time, unlimited holiday perk. And I remember immediately asking like, all right, but what does that really mean? And they're like, well, it means that you're able to take off as long as you want, as long as you feel like you've done adequate work at the company. You can just take off as long as you want. There's no like 23-day minimum or maximum. Just, you know, go as long as you want. So I was like, so what you're saying is I could literally take off for 30, 40, 50 days. And they're like, well, it depends on you if you feel that you've done that amount of work. And I'm like, oh, subjectively, I feel like I've done the world already. It's only been, what, 2 weeks here? Goodbye? No. It's like a false promise of hope. You work there thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna get loads of holiday. No. Give me like a forced minimum like they do in like Germany and Sweden stuff. I'll be happy with that. One subtle red flag is that Evan doesn't have 1 million subs yet. Come on, people, subscribe. Thank you very much, Bradley. If you guys haven't subscribed to my channel yet, wow, I thought we were friends. I thought we were friends where you can see me through the screen in crazy HD and you just look like a very sexy circle of a lens. But I guess not. Anyway, if you want to watch any of these videos again, please, there's a playlist right here. Can you believe it? I'll see you guys next Sunday. Goodbye.